This is TNA, the new face of professional wrestling.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Feast or Fired podcast. This is for the February 12th, 2003 episode or pay-per-view of TNA. I know these are not coming out regularly anymore.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm going to make an attempt to try to find some interim content that I can produce on my own without requiring my wife to put in any extra work, because she works hard enough as it is. And I mean outside of the wrestling stuff. But let's get into this today. We'll record this and I'll figure that out later, all right?
All right.
Okay. Unfortunately, this is the show that is airing immediately after the passing of Kurt Hennig. So we do start with the tribute to him. I don't know if they rang it, but like it's supposed to be like a 10-bell salute. Had his picture and his boots in the ring and stuff and his towel. So
I think they did ring it.
they may have. I don't remember counting. I just remember the tribute. But yeah, somber way to start the show. Obviously this may have been pre-taped before he was dead before he died. I don't know. Before his death is what I meant to say. I don't know if the rest of the show was pre-taped before, because like we didn't. Actually, no. Actually, you know what? No, it couldn't have been. Couldn't have been. And we'll get to why. Okay? Okay. So, after this, we go to extra footage from after the show ended last week, and the numbers game overtook Jarrett, and they tied him up and whipped him.
So they did the whole, well, there you have it, Jarrett's dead.
Well, I guess. It's not as poignant as it is some of the other times. It's never going to beat, like, Lawler choking him out.
True.
Anyways, we go back. It's now TNA in the ring. He's not in the ring. He's on the stage. He's saying that Bob Armstrong's taking a leave of absence due to the personal nature of the situation, because one of the people he is dealing with, that's with Russo, is BG James, who's his son. So he's stepping away because it's become so personal. So because of this, we're getting a different authority figure being introduced by TNA tonight, and that is J.J. Dillon. I don't know him very well myself. I guess he was in WCW for a long while. Sports Entertainment Extreme immediately interrupts. It's just another rant from Russo about backstage politics and what you did to me and blah, blah, blah. Dillon tries to clap back. Russo cuts Dillon's response off and asks if people want action or talking. And I say that's rich coming from Russo, considering how much talking he's been doing the past month and a half.
True.
The Harris twins are sent after Dillon, but Sandman cuts them off with the Singapore cane and beats them away.
Okay, so you said this last time, but I'm so confused still. Is a Singapore cane look exactly at least what I saw?
As far as Sandman, as far as I'm concerned, they're the same thing. And I know it's confusing. And I don't know, because I don't know how to rate consistency of wrestling weaponry.
I'm not asking for that in any way or form.
Okay, I'm just saying, I don't know.
Because that is something we will never get.
It's a kendo stick or a Singapore cane. It's one of the two. Maybe we should have started this after you got through your allergies. Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry, people. I have morning allergies, and it used to be a joke, but lately it's been really bad.
Unfortunately, this is the best time for us to do this.
Yes.
Anyways, you're not about to just blow your nose into the microphone, are you?
Nope.
Okay. I caught that. Anyways, match 1, the Rock and Roll Express versus America's Most Wanted. Apparently, because of the double pin finish from the week before, it has been decided that there's now going to be a tournament to determine the tag team champions.
Kind of like what they did the last time.
Is there a last time this happened?
Yes, it was.
Goddamn.
Eddie Gordo teaming with Sunglasses and Oodles and Noodles and Stylist.
Oh, yeah. Because no one could get along. Anyways. Oh my god, they did this twice in such a short period of time. Oh my god.
Okay, that's what you're impressed with, not my memory of it?
No, of course I'm impressed with your memory of it. I just can't believe that I can't believe they actually did that. That's just so weird to pull this out twice so soon after one after the other.
Yeah.
Usually you wait years between doing something so similar.
Yeah, I think Sunglasses pinned Oodles and Noodles and Stylist pinned Eddie Gordo.
Okay. Anyways. I say the Express are moving pretty spryly for being up there in age. I actually don't know how old they are here. They might be in their early 50s, late 40s. But they obviously look on the older side because they're balding and, not in great shape. They're fine. Just they're not, spectacular physical specimens at this point. But I say, the good thing, though, is that because of that, they're not holding AMW back in this match. They're mostly all doing everything they normally could do in any given tag match. I say the worst move I see through this is Storm doing a reverse tornado DDT from the corner, as whoever he was doing to kind of turn and fell instead of, spinning with him. And Storm barely touched him. But even that was forgivable because, that's a really hard maneuver for an older guy to do.
And in all honesty,
but he still put the effort in and tried, and it was the only thing I could see that looked bad this entire match.
No, in all honesty, even a young guy could have made that botch.
Yeah. And then this is where I say, this actually had to have been recorded after Hennig passed, because Harris hits a perfect plex to get the pin. And, he points up for the tribute to Hennig, which was cool. And then right after this, Loki alone comes and attacks AMW with the belts. We don't see any other member of Triple X today.
I thought we did.
We do not see Daniels or Skipper.
Oh, no, we don't.
It's just Loki, for some reason. Who I want to trade vocal cords with Ela Skipper.
Oh my god, yes. I doesn't. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, are you sure that's your voice?
They look like the other. The one should sound like the other, and I laugh every time. Anyways, we have Goldilocks asking Russo who's waiting for outside the arena. Russo. Raven shows up and Russo says to him that Sandman is here, trying to grill him about, because, Raven knows Sandman from ECW. Raven is clueless, and then Sandman comes out and to chase them, going after Raven. And that happens. Then we get match number 2 of the tournament, which I guess it's only a 4-team tournament, but still. It's the Harris Twins versus the New Church. And then all I write here is, what can I say? Slash looks silly fighting, and Harris Twins are the most atypical big guys.
I have lots of notes.
It was hard for me to get excited about this because I'm never excited for the Harris Twins, and I don't want to see the New Church versus AMW again. So I don't care about this. Who wins this? But distraction from Loki gives the Twins a chance to hit the H-bomb and win. So the final is going to be America's Most Wanted versus the Harris Twins. And then whoever wins that gets to fight Triple X for the titles. That's how that's working this time. Yes.
Okay, because I must have missed that.
It basically is 2 brackets, but one bracket is literally just Triple X. That's the best way to put it. We get a video package building this X Division title match for tonight. And the video makes it seem like the focus of the feud is more on Trinity versus Desire than the belt and Kid Cash and Siaki.
It is.
It's so weird. Anyways, I don't know. Match number 3 is the X Division Championship match between Sonny Siaki and Kid Cash. Say Siaki's taking an early advantage with his power. He hits a press slam into a fallaway slam, and that was pretty impressive. He sends Kid Cash to the outside and say that's a risk because he tends to throw chairs. Immediately, I called it as Siaki ducks a chair. Then Trinity and then Trinity gives Cash a second one to nail him with. As a result of this, though, Desire does get involved, attacking Trinity. Eventually, Desire jumps on Cash's back. This lets Siaki return to a throne chair, so we're getting chairs thrown all over the place.
Yeah. All I have is that Desiree is helping, or Desire.
Desiree.
I'm trying to rename her on it, and this is not even on purpose, guys. Desire is helping, and it's getting super. Which I've been saying since, like, the first time. Because it is. It's
anyways,
annoying.
Cash sets up to do a springboard, but Desire pulls him off. She actually is playing a huge role in this match. She's the most effective I've seen her as far as, like, her involvement in a match for Siaki. So it's good to see her doing the job she's out there to do effectively. But at the same time, we'll get to the end of this and just, like, kind of ironic. This is kind of the first time she's really truly being effective.
Gabby, Lucy, whichever one you are, I don't care. Stop.
Anyways, Cash really feels like a threat. Near fall, and a Desire tries to interfere. And then Trinity really goes after her that time. So they're fighting now. More.
Well, I mean, the feud is between them, apparently.
The finish comes when they're sitting in the corner. Cash is fighting off a superplex. He tries to do a moonsault where he jumps around real quick and then, hits the moonsault really fast.
But he
slips. Thankfully, sort of lands safely and still counts the 3 to become the champ. But it really sucks to botch your finish on the match.
No, like he hit his face off of the.
He was fine. My point is he was fine. He didn't break his nose. He didn't break his neck.
True.
But like it really sucks to botch the last move of the match and still get the 3 count because that just looks fake. But gets that, and Kid Cash, after several weeks of being built up to be a legitimate contender for the title, has won. Natural progression and really well done.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the best they could do without actually having, the weekly show and then a pay-per-view every month. So I give them credit for that. It was nice. We get a new segment where it's like rapid fire interview questions and like word association and shit. I don't know if this sticks around, but they're doing it with Truth. They literally call it an interrogation. I say the answers are kind of funny. I think this is just a setup doubt that of Truth's loyalty to NWA. We see Goldilocks with Glenn Gilberti and Mike Sanders. Glenn is talking about a bunch of different gimmicks and characters he could make up that would be all like kayfabe characters. I just say, what the fuck is this shit?
My confusion was like, I feel like a talk show host gay because he was like really into some of those pictures.
My point here is that you're flat out saying that these people are fake when you're talking about making characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're supposed to be fighting a real wrestling war. And it's like, you really can't have both and have it make sense. So, like, him doing this just seems weird. It would be, okay, I could see someone doing this where their gimmick is they think everything's kayfabe, but it's not. You know what I mean?
I don't
like
know.
In kayfabe, he pretends kayfabe's a real thing,
I don't know what.
But everyone else is serious about what they're like. You know what I mean? Kayfabe is just the term for the fictional world that wrestling exists in.
Oh.
In kayfabe, the Undertaker really has supernatural powers.
Oh, okay.
But, in real life, he doesn't. And then BG James shows up and he talks up their match, I guess, and we just move on. Anyways. Match 4. Jorge Estrada, Tenacious Z, and Ron the Truth Killings versus Mike Sanders, Glenn Gilberti, and BG James. I originally thought it would, instead of Gilberti, it was David Flair again. And I was... Oh,
he was mad.
I was mad.
Like, really? I hate these.
Well, it's because it plays off of my first note here is when I told my wife that if Sanders and Flair don't wrestle this week, it's an automatic feast. But since I thought it was both of them in this match, I just wrote down shit in big, bold letters. Then I wrote, I will continue to protest these two wrestling until we pass this nonsense. And then halfway through the match, I realized it was Gilberti, and about halfway through this match was helped as Sanders is the lesser of the two evils when it comes to him or Flair. As terrible as that is. I say Estrada and Truth are absolute goats in this match. They're just putting on a clinic in the ring and look fucking amazing. And thankfully there are some people in the ring that are able to work with that.
I mean...
BG James, Mike Sanders are not great wrestlers. BG James is a little bit better just because he can work with the other people to do their stuff, even if he's not that capable himself. And then Gilberti's fine. Disco Inferno's always been competent. And then, got Estrada and Truth, who are both really good.
You're forgetting the third one on their team.
Tenacious Z?
Yeah.
Because he was barely in it.
And the time he was, he...
And he mostly just does dives. And some strikes.
Okay, first off...
He's limited by the one leg. I understand that.
Like, there's not much the poor dude can do.
I wrote, I give it that this match is actually somewhat exciting for who is on the Sports Entertainment Extreme team. Near the end of this match, Scott Armstrong comes down and distracts BG James, letting Z get in a moonsault to turn things around. Truth gets the win over Sanders after Estrada took out the other two with a dive. Again, I actually was more impressed with this match just because, who was in it on the sex team. So I can't knock this match for being bad because it really wasn't. Sanders still sucks, but it was fine. There are so many worse matches I've seen over the past month than this one, and this is the worst one of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love my nickname for the next match.
Okay, well, I mean, we got 2 segments before the match.
I know.
So. Goldilocks with Raven. Raven complains about wrestling Sandman, saying it's not his fault the shit happened where he stole his wife and stuff. Because apparently, I guess he ended up marrying Sandman's wife eventually. I don't know. Styles shows up in a car, gets out and attacks Raven. Now they're fighting. And then we find out the Rock and Roll Express with hoods over their heads and they've been beaten up. Just off to the side.
Old.
Well, someone has a history of doing that sort of shit, so I'm not surprised by the reveal of who it was.
True.
I probably should have mentioned earlier. I think they said that Jarrett wasn't here because of the beating he got after the end of the last show.
Well, yeah, he was whipped. They literally had him like Jesus Christ, hon.
Yeah.
Literally.
I don't know. And the Harris twins have been bringing out the ropes every single time they've showed up. Next, David Flair interview basically talks about his daddy issues. That's all I have written. I don't care about anything else.
A lot of wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think one of the only ones that doesn't is sunglasses.
I mean, his dad wasn't a wrestler. His dad's a promoter, so it's a little different. He's not walking in the shoes of a wrestling father. Anyways, let's move on. We get quite a few like next generation, like second or third generation people in TNA over the years. So you've seen the father of one lately, Dusty Rhodes.
Oh.
Well, we get to see both Cody and Dustin at some point in TNA's future, but we'll get there when we get there. Match number 5. This is possibly the best match of the night, if not the second best match of the night. Steve Corino versus Loki.
Sorry, my nickname for the first one is Gold Crotch.
We have not seen Steve Corino since the Gauntlet for the Gold for the World Championship on the very first show.
I don't remember what his nickname was then, and I wrote that on paper, and that notebook is probably gone.
Actually, it's just sitting next to the bed.
Oh, is it really? Oh, I could have actually looked it up. I like my new nickname for him.
Anyways, we do get a little interview segment before the match where Corino says he's going to dismantle sex. He says that specifically. Specifically, Loki is fighting dirty from the start as Corino takes the strikes to Loki. But Loki turns the fight around using eye pokes and tugging on the ref to get in shots. I say it's more interesting to see a more striking focused X Division match. There's a lot more brawling than like high flying in this, which is different, but it's still nice to watch. Just because it is different. X Division can't be all high flying. It will get boring. So like that's why I kind of like that they have Siaki doing not just the high flying stuff. They have these guys who are more strike focused. It's nice to see.
I'm fine with the high flying.
We get Corino has a pin on Loki after reversing a crucifix stretch into a neck breaker, and then Loki pokes the ref in the eye to get DQ'd. That's the end of that match. So Corino wins by disqualification. Corino and Loki fight for a bit after the match, but AMW comes out, sending Loki running, trying to get some retribution for the attack earlier. Church also tries to cut him off in the audience and chase them, but fails to catch him. So everyone's got a bone to pick with Loki tonight with all the shit he's pulled. Match number 6. It is an 8-man elimination for the X Division become number 1 contender for the X Division Championship. The participants are Shark Boy, Jose Maximo, Joel Maximo, David Young, Tony Mamaluke, Jimmy Rave, Paul London, and Jerry Lynn. So we got Paul London debuting tonight. And I really loved Paul London when he was in WWE. So nice to see him. What?
Oh, my nickname for him.
What was your nickname for him?
Buffton Long.
Oh yeah.
He looks like Justin Long, but buff.
True.
I'm sorry, people.
My only other thing I could think of calling him is London Reeves.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Because he kind of looks like Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, but Justin Long looks like that all the time.
True. Buffed and long. Anyways.
Buffed and long.
Anyways. We get the typical kind of back and forth standoff opening with Shark Boy and Jose. Shark Boy gets a very fast elimination with the Dead Sea drop. Joel replaces his brother, getting control, and getting a near fall with a senton bomb that landed right on top of Shark Boy instead of the float over you're supposed to do. He just back first entirely all his weight onto Shark Boy's ribs.
Wait.
Yeah, when you do a senton bomb or a swanton when Jeff Hardy does it, you're supposed to actually land ass first next to them, on the other side of them, and just brush your back on them gently as you land. But it looks like you're landing on them. But no, he just flat out smashes down into them. Sharkboy manages to sneak in another Dead Sea drop to eliminate the second Maximo. Rave gets in next. He tries to go for a third DSD. It's blocked by Rave and turns into a Northern Lights bomb to eliminate Sharkboy. Mamaluke gets in a few moves before it puts Rave into an armbar. Rave does manage to get the ropes, but a quick release suplex eliminates him. So Young is in next and immediately hits a massive clothesline on Mamaluke. Young uses his strength. Mamaluke coming out of a press to try to submit Young, but he pushes him back into the corner. He had him in a sleeper hold. After he got off him, Young was in the corner and Mamaluke was stepping away from him. It looks like Young just kind of collapsed forwards, and luckily managed to shoulder block Mamaluke in the back of the leg.
Okay, you don't know what else Oi Shorts had that entire time.
Oh wait, no, Mamaluke did that to Young. I'm sorry. And then they were talking about how it was Young's reconstructed knee. I misread my thing. I'm sorry.
As you should be.
Okay, so Mamaluke is now using that against him. More submissions attempted and targeting the weak knee. We see that even Young's reversals are weak and can't capitalize because of his knee. Young does eventually hit his spine buster to eliminate Mamaluke, even though it looks weak because he's, hurting. Lynn hits an immediate TKO on Young. Young fights out of the pile driver, gets another spine buster, but the length it takes him to cover, he lets Lynn recover enough to kick out. Young tries a moonsault despite his knee and misses. Lynn putting a single leg crab on Young, attacking the bad knee again. After Lynn switches to an STF, Young taps out, and now it's just down to Jerry Lynn and Paul London. And this is the longest part of the entire match, probably because they wanted to show off the new guy. London is outmaneuvering Lynn at first, but the veteran manages to turn things around with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. London and Lynn are just putting up a really good fight, a lot of good back and forth between the two of them. They actually look really even in this contest. I guess you could argue because Lynn is now tired from fighting Young. That I guess that say he technically would be stronger if they were both starting fresh. But Lynn is able to block London calling, which is London's finisher, which is a shooting star press. But I think he does a cradle as he does it or something. It's weird. It's a little modified. He gets a near fall off of that. Lynn does finally catch London and he uses the cradle pile driver to win and become the number one contender for the championship. After that, Conan comes out and accuses that the X Division is stealing Lucha Libre. Jerry Lynn's response is basically that Conan's just jealous that he's never been a high flyer. And following that, Conan basically gives barking orders, and the SATs, the Maximos, are joining Conan and start beating down the other X Division people.
Weak sauce is all I'm saying. I'm so tired of double crossing.
Happens a lot, and you're gonna have to get used to it. It happens a lot in wrestling. But that was the end of that. We go to the back again. Estrada is basically saying, he's in a solo act now and not even doing the Elvis thing anymore. And then Truth says he's not going to answer any more questions. And then we see that Sanders and Gilberti are actually, down and like their heads bagged like Rock and Roll Express was earlier. So someone's going around beating up members of Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Dun dun dun.
Final match of the night, nothing spectacular. It's Raven versus Sandman, falls count anywhere. Battle on the outside to begin with. Sandman takes the guardrail and puts it in the ring. That's new for TNA at this point. We've never seen them do that. Let's see, drop toe hold, throwing Raven face first in the ring. Raven's already bleeding. This is like literally like a minute and a half into the match, and it's like a 10-minute match. Sandman gets whipped into the corner and flips onto the railing. They follow and fight into the crowd. After fighting to a ramp, Raven brings a chair and trash can over for more hardcore stuff. I gotta say, there's a lot of hardcore weapon shots now. Loki eventually shows up and throws Sandman off a balcony through a table, and then gives Raven the chance to pin him and win. Carino comes out to continue fighting with Loki, but Raven is there. Sandman then returns with his cane. They fight some more. The rest of SEX joins in. They start trying to tie up Sandman and Carino. And then Jarrett comes out of nowhere for the save. And turns out he was the one jumping the other guys and beating them down. 2-on-1 somehow.
He had the surprise attack though.
But before we close out for the night, Styles then attacks Jarrett and hits the Styles Clash on a chair. And we're definitely setting up a Jeff Jarrett versus AJ Styles match. Though I still think the way things have been going, the obvious thing they should be doing is like Raven, Styles, Jarrett triple threat. I don't know which way it's still going to go still. I don't know the actual matches. But yeah, hardcore match to end it. Very typical hardcore match. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just what I would expect out of a hardcore match.
All right, hun, feast or fired?
I was not dreading watching. I was not dreading this whole show like I have been the past few weeks. So just on that alone, I have to say it's a feast.
I'm gonna go with feast too because I came up with some really cool nicknames this time, which is always a plus. And my favorite wrestler won, so.
Yeah, overall, like, this was an improvement over what we have been seeing.
Not a lot of talking. I mean, kind of a lot of talking, but.
But yeah. I hope we are more on this trajectory going forward. Better matches, less bullshit. But I don't know. We'll see. I look forward to the next show. Hopefully it'll be better, and hopefully I can find some stuff to fill in the missing weeks where we're not able to find time to do everything.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, new job. You gotta concentrate on that. Anyways, thank you for listening. It's been a great half hour. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and keep on wrestling.
Bye.